Hey, hello friends, and welcome to RetroPortal Studio. Today's video is not going to be a tutorial, but a video that I think is really necessary to make. This video is going to be focused on the mistakes that beginner Flutter developers make. I really want some of these issues to be addressed so that at least the audience watching this video don't end up making these mistakes during their initial learning phase. And please don't think that I haven't made these mistakes while learning Flutter. I've been through those days and I'm still learning. We all have to learn the hard way. So starting with the biggest problem first. So Flutter has been emerging as a great platform for mobile app development for the past few months. And along with it, Dart has been emerging as a really great language for development. But with this kind of hype, a lot of developers are starting their software development journey with Flutter and Dart. And in my opinion, this is not a really good approach. If you are a beginner and are aiming to become a good software developer who can take on freelance projects and create well-structured apps, don't ignore native development. Start with Java, Kotlin, Swift, or any other language and build your way up to creating native apps for your chosen platform. The way this will benefit you is that you'll learn to structure data and a lot of other platform-specific things. Let's take an example. Let's say you want to create a list view for Android application in the native world. You'll have to create a recycler view, adapter, and a lot of small things to create the list and update the data in the list. You'll face numerous problems and will make your way up by solving those problems and learning new ways to manage data. Now, if you try to do the same thing in Flutter, it's hardly going to take you just a few lines of code to get the same thing. It sounds great, and it is great, but when you're just starting out with software development, you need to focus on your skills rather than just getting stuff done. Moreover, Flutter and Dart at this point do not have much to offer with things like background processes, alarms, and other platform-specific stuff. So you'll have to learn native development sooner or later. So the gist of it is that don't over-rely on Flutter and Dart. Focus on your skills, learn fundamentals of software development by languages like Java and Kotlin. Sure, they might be kind of tedious at first, but those fundamentals will help you a lot in the long run. And you'll appreciate the frameworks like Flutter much more when you work with native. So coming to the second point, don't rely on one source for learning. So let's say you wish to learn about provider for state management. There are a number of sources online for it, and they really can help you learn even if you're a complete beginner. But what most people do is that they find a single video that they find most understandable and they adopt the same way to code. What I want you to consider is that the person who has made the video is growing his or her skills continuously, and there might be a much better way to code something since the video or course was published. So always consider multiple learning sources and make your own findings throughout the way. So with this comes the third point, that is for packages. Packages are great. They really ease up most of your work, don't they? Yes, they do. But you know what else they do? They add to your code base. Even if whole of the package is necessary or not, you have to add it. Don't take me wrong. In most of my applications, I add packages like provider, Firebase, random string packages for unique IDs, image picker, and croppers. But these are only the packages which really reduce the workload. What I see people do is that they add packages to process dates and even to customize the snack bars, toasts, or so on. Even all these things can be achieved by a few extra lines of code and some research. So whenever you need to customize something or you want to get something done, check the do-it-yourself way first, rather than just adding a package. Okay, so this takes us to the fourth point. Let's say you have written some code and everything is working fine, and the world seems to be a great place again. In your happiness, don't forget to check the debug console and the logcat. In case of Flutter, there can be rebuilds occurring in the background, and you won't even notice them until you look at the debug console. I can't stress how important it is to check those consoles regularly, even while navigating. These rebuilds might not feel like a big deal right now, but in the long run they can lead to unintended app closures and app crashes. Okay, so one last tip that I would like to recommend is that start making actual apps. No doubt you'll learn a lot even while implementing the concepts isolatedly, but the problem really comes when the multiple things have to work in conjunction with each other. In such cases, you'll have to look at many more aspects rather than just the boilerplate code. The way I would recommend to learn Flutter would be to think of an application to make. Make your way up learning the concepts implementing them in isolation, and then integrating them in your application code. You'll learn a lot this way. Okay, so all these problems were based on the research that I've done recently throughout my comment section and all the other sources for learning Flutter. So I hope you find this video helpful, and if you do, please hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to share the video with your friends or colleagues if they're starting out with Flutter and Dart. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Peace.